Now he's back in a slightly deeper role, but a free kick's been given to Al Nassr on this occasion. But it's been a rather low-key start to the game from the team, who are looking to close in on the top three once again.
Yeah, I think it's been not a bad start from Wedha, if I'm being quite honest. I know that they're certainly going to have to make it hard and difficult for Al Nassr, and they've done that in these early stages. They've really showed a good momentum, a good flow, made it difficult up to now.
It was clipped forward by Abu Shal, but Al Wedha have been well organised defensively in the early stages of this game. Al Nassr won in Stefano Pioli's first game in charge back in September by 2-0. And a couple of years ago, Cristiano Ronaldo scored his first hat-trick here in the Russian Saudi League, scored all four in a 4-0 victory. But relatively speaking, he's going through a lean spell. Of course, it's all relative and it's only a couple of games, but he'll have been particularly disappointed not to have helped his team out of a hole on Friday night.
Well, his numbers have been quite magnificent, haven't they, since coming to the league? So, a couple of games and you do start to question, don't you, whether or when it's going to stop. But you have every faith in what Cristiano Ronaldo's all about.
And a clash of heads here, so there will be treatment for both players. And an early break in the game. And we'll have the goals from elsewhere today coming up at half-time, and it was a nasty one there. Al Fatih, the player who just seemed to lean into Yahya Naji, and both really took the brunt of that.
Yeah, both going for the ball. You see why there's been a halt in play.
And we'll have the goals from elsewhere today coming up at half-time, and it was
obviously with it being head injuries, but those players going to win the ball.
Nasty one there. Al Fatih, the player who just seemed to lean into Yahya Naji, and both really took. Reading a change already. Of course, he was the player who scored at both ends on Friday night, that unlucky own goal which sparked the late Al Atifat comeback.
He had a bit of a crazy evening actually as well. I mean, one goal that led to Wijnaldum's goal went under his foot, that was looked at from VAR, and obviously because he should have had complete control of the ball and it went under his foot, it was deemed a goal after being ruled out after VAR had looked at it because of the second phase, really. So it was one of them crazy evenings for Fatih, but showed big character as well, considering he scored in both goals that evening.
Aymeric Laporte is also just stretching the right hamstring, and with a rather hurried warm-up here, you've got to be careful. And Aymeric Laporte is coming off, so the player, of course, who had time out of the team for compassionate reasons following the death of his father, he's come back onto the field now, and that change may have just been halted, and Laporte did seem for all the world to be saying that he was finished tonight.
Yeah, he looked like he was clutching the hamstring, didn't he? So it would have signalled that it's not great for him, and as you said, I think you have to be so careful with any strains, any slight strains, and that the kick-off's been delayed, you're getting straight into the action. You know, sometimes it takes a while to get warmed up, and obviously just recently having a game as well, you know, you do have that fatigue, so they have to be careful with Laporte.
It's a busy time, of course, with this midweek round, and a fairly tight turnaround for a number of clubs. So Al Wedha try and build here, and they will eventually get the free kick for the challenge from Al Hassan.
I think there was two here, this one here, and then the referee just let that play go on, and the second one he just brought the game to a halt.
It was Kadari who was just caught as the free kick is cleared away as far as Al Makahassi. The early cross in from him is guided clear by Yaya, and eventually Batshuayi is penalised, and it will be an opportunity for Mane to set Al Nassr going again in what's been a rather stop-start game so far, which is understandable.
Yeah, there's no flow at all, is there? I mean, there's been plenty of free kicks, which has put the game to a stop, so that'll suit the home side, there's no doubt of that. When they're situated in the league, you do feel that Al Nassr will want that flow, they want that rhythm, they want to get on with things quite quickly.
Well, there is going to be a change here. Salim Al-Najdi will be coming on for Al Nassr, so maybe the return of Laporte was just to allow him to get himself ready. And with Mohamed Simakan already serving a suspension following his second red card of the season against Al Ahly, now Aymeric Laporte is coming off the field of play as well. And Salim Al-Najdi was rather just feeling at his hamstring even before he came on.
Yeah, well, you can see it's heavily strapped up as well, isn't it? So, I mean, it's pretty clear that straight away it's not promising signs. You can see that the K-tape just behind the hamstring there.
Well, Al-Najdi is a versatile player, but he usually plays as a fullback. But he'll be moving into the heart of the defence here with Kashish and Abu Shal staying in the wide areas. So it's a rather makeshift look to the Al Nassr back four at the moment, as now they try and come forward with Ronaldo. And Kashish offering the width back towards Ronaldo again. Garib quickly closed down, though. A good challenge from Batshuayi. And now Al-Qudari. And Cretu was just closed down, and Cretu has moved into a more advanced role alongside Juninho Bacuna.
He breaks it up well in that midfield area. You can see that physical element that he has. He can go and force that forward area a little bit more, but you see he's just dropped in a little bit, hasn't he, where he's just not allowing that ball to come directly through that midfield area.
Just trying to prevent the service towards Garib, who of course does have the pace to cause real problems. Now it's Long looking for Ronaldo, who just for a moment looked to be going in behind Maki, but in the end it was claimed by Al-Awashir.
Yeah, the direct pass, you can see clever little bit of movement from Ronaldo, just that reverse, as if he's coming short and then goes long.
Well, Al-Wedha have drawn 1 and lost 7 since they last beat Al Nassr in the Roshan Saudi League back in November of 2019, when Jose Daniel Carreño was their coach in his first spell in charge. Now Mane, and I'm sure that they would regard anything from games like this as a real bonus. They'll really be tested when they play the teams around them, and that's ultimately what will decide whether they stay up or not, as the challenge comes in there from Al Makahassi on Mane.
Yeah, I think that's why, you know, you look at the team selection today, and they have got teams that are in and around them coming up, so whether that has gone into the thoughts of leaving the likes of Igalo, Goodwin out, who have been their goal threat.
They travel to Al Fayha next on Saturday, and that's one of the games they would hope to win, as it was quickly played forward there to Najdi, but just beyond him. But there is plenty of room in behind, and it's a rather high line from Al Nassr at the moment. But here is Al Garib at the other end. Ronaldo waits in the centre, but just makes the wrong run, and then Kashish with the shot, which was blocked by the legs of Al-Awashir, and then a longer range effort this time from Yaya, but it was dragged wide.
Yeah, it's much better. And Nassr, you can see that run that we touched on. Garib coming from that left-hand side. He's trying to look for Cristiano Ronaldo. He picks that pass. It's not a bad ball, is it really? Because ends up coming right out to this left-hand side where she takes that shot on. Ends up being a good save from the goalkeeper.
The next two games for Al Wedha, away to Al Thayr and then at home to Al Raid, who lost again today, having ended a long losing sequence at the weekend. We'll see the goals from their 2-1 defeat at home to Al Shabab coming up at half-time. They are the big games for Al Wedha.